San Jose, Chicago, Vancouver have, three of the top five picks. So we'll see what goes on. Like I said, I'm in Dynasty Hockey League, so I have to pay attention to these top prospects at least. So I enjoy watching, draft. I've recorded a couple times. If I hadn't watched it live, I'm not as diehard, but I have to be tuned in for every minute because it takes a long time. It's a long night when you try to watch the draft on TV. So, but we'll see how it goes. Like I said, it's draft's fun. I'm going to be talking about these prospects. Some of them will be making immediate impacts. Most of them will not be. It's rare as you have a player like Schaefer make the kind of impact he had last year, as well as Celebrini the last 2 years. It's you get one or two of these type players pretty much every draft. We're still, waiting for some of these players to have even more impact. Obviously, the Montreals, the Devils, and the Chicagos and the San Jose's have been stockpiling talent over the last half dozen years. So we'll see. We'll see if it adds up to Stanley Cup runs. Obviously, Vegas built their team a little differently as having been an expansion team. Carolina has built their team a little differently as well. Their team didn't have anybody with over $10 million a year, so they lack that high end, big money, super duper star. Though they do have, very very talented team. Obviously, with the Sebastian Aho and the Svechnikov was his number 2 overall pick. And Jordan Staal is their beloved captain, veteran that's been around forever. But these guys are not commanding the 10, 11, $12 million contracts. So I mean, is that prohibitive from putting together a Stanley Cup team? I don't think so. Florida has $10 million players. Tampa Bay has $10 million players. So it's more or less how you build your team, not necessarily who your top end stars are. But you got to believe your system. You got to trust your coaching staff. Your scouts have to bring in guys that are less heralded. Guys like Jackson Blake. Those guys are, Stankoven, guys that are deemed undersized, but definitely can make an impact. That's the reason that Carolina won the cup. Obviously they bring in, veteran players. They bring in guys like Condre Miller that kind of worked his way out of New York, and he was essential on the blue line for the Carolina during their cup run. Jacob Slavin is a different animal. He's one of the best all-around defensemen in the league. So Carolina had a lot of different pieces of their puzzle, and that's why they're the cup champion. But having watched them all year long, I knew that they were definitely primed. If they get over that hump to get to the finals, I don't think anybody's going to take it away from them. And Vegas, of course, got hot late. Coaching change helped. Obviously, you have players, but more veteran players, and of course, redemption stories like the Carter Hart and like the Marner. That team is a good team. Stone is a good captain, and Eichel is a fantastic player in his own right, having won a cup with them. And then, they did everything they needed to do. They swept out the Avalanche, which was a surprise to almost everybody, except, of course, in that locker room in Vegas. And they just ran into, they had a 2-1 lead, but they ran into a Carolina team that once they started playing their game, it was pretty much over and over. So Carolina, congratulations again to them. Obviously, they're going to have I don't think they have a high pick in the draft. Of course, they'd had the last pick if that's their only pick. But from trades, they may have other picks as well. But other than that, like I said, it's going to be fun. This week, of course, will be, we have a couple of days. Obviously, tomorrow. No, it's next week. So we have a week of draft talk. Of course, next week there might even be some trade talk before we do our 2 boxes. But double box on Sunday. eBay spots are live Tuesday and Thursday next week. Back to our normal Facebook claims. That's just going to be for this week because I'm going away. After I come back, we'll probably be back to just the Wednesday nights as well as the double box on Sunday. But just throw it off a little bit. Go back to our Tuesday and Thursday for just a week. Make sure you get over to Big Al's. He's got his East Coast stuff. He has some good jerseys. Last night, Bob and Hagel came out. Also, Daryl's doing stuff. I think he might be going away too. I'm not sure what his schedule is, but he has a box opening tomorrow. I'm not sure when his next post would be. And Tuesday and Thursday still Nick F over at Whatnot. If you guys stop by, I know a couple of you guys do. So hopefully, I don't know what did you open your boxes already tonight? What did you hit? If you're still here live, I didn't see what came out in your boxes. I was getting ready for my stuff on my end. That's why it throws out. But I know obviously not tonight. You do Tuesday and Thursday. So we're on we're not usually back on Thursday, but we were today. So to have a chance to stop by. the Whatnot to check out your break. But and it's I think Whatnot, you're not able to watch past breaks. That makes it tough. So I reach out to you usually and find out what hit over the night. Usually you do at least 2. Sometimes you get to a third. I'm not sure how your night went over at Whatnot, but like I said, just 1 box tonight, so not going to wait around too long. And then we got some people here live, and everybody's going to wait on the video when we open it up. So let's get to going. Here we go. Let's get where's my dice roller and my random? Let me see. Let's go, guys. Dice roller and our list. There's our dice. There's our list. Okay, very good. Let's roll it over. Okay, of course, we do 5 or more on our dice roll to decide what boxes here in order. And we had to skip 43. So only boxes we had to skip in the run. So boxes here, the new reload is 44 all the way to 31. We've only hit one of those boxes. We hit, what did we hit? 34. So the box we hit, 34 we hit. So there we go. That's gone. Of course, then there's the 10 boxes from the previous reload. Then, of course, we have 3 runs of 3 boxes. And we have 2 runs of 2. 48 and 59 are attached to the hip. We hit 1. We open other as well. So that's our 1 box, maybe a 2 boxer if we hit either of those 2. And then, of course, 2 box run. And then 17's our solo box left from that run. So good luck, everybody. 5 or more in our dice roll. See what we got. 10 times the list. 10 times. I'm not sure if that bodes well for the new stuff, bodes well for the old stuff, whatever it may be. 10 times is what we're going to do. The randomization of the list. Top box and the 10th roll is the one we will open. Good luck, everybody. Make sure you're back here for Sunday. Get your bids in. 1 in 34, 1 in 35 will be the box odds on Sunday. So good luck, everybody. 36 boxes. There it is. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the box we're going to open tonight is going to be box number 59. 59. Oh, that means we open up 48 as well. Congratulations. 59 and 48 will open. Just like that, double box. 59 and 48. Congratulations. Both those box number owners. Let's see, 36 times, or 36 items, 10 times. Just like you talk about it, 48 and 59 will open up. Let me back both of them out. So we won't have them for Sunday. So just like that, your odds have gotten 1 better for Sunday. So there we go. 2 boxes gone. 1 in 34, 1 in 33 will be our box odds on Sunday. So there you go. So whether or not you have hit tonight, your odds have now improved for Sunday. Congratulations. Congratulations. There he is. Nick is calling out the last 2 boxes from those runs. Let me see. Here's our 48s and our 59. Get our sticker over there. Very good. Congratulations. I'm not even sure who has them, so I got to check the list again. Here we go. 48, 59. Let's see what we got. They'll see. Oh, Dan B. Oh, that's a relatively newbie magic as well. Dan B. Dan B's not completely new to us, but he's relatively new. So I don't know which is in which. So let's see what we got. 59 is our first box. That's the box we hit. We'll also open it up. Here we go. 2 jerseys coming out. There it is. The Factor. Ryan O'Reilly on the Buffalo Sabres. Obviously, Stanley Cup champion with the St. Louis Blues. Riley O'Reilly, number 90, Factor. There he is. He's the key piece. David Adams. Sticker on that. Ryan O'Reilly. Obviously, St. Louis legends. There it is. Ryan O'Reilly. Congratulations, ROR, the Factor inscription. Very, very nice. With the A on the front on the Buffalo Sabres jersey. There it is. The Swords. Another former Sword winning the cup. Obviously, the Jack Eagles. Sam Reinhart. Obviously, former Swords have moved on. Have won cups. Congratulations. The Factor comes out. And there it is. Box 48. Oh, that's right. Dale C's been chasing them. I wasn't sure he had them tonight. So there it is. Congratulations on the Factor. Box 48. Just to prove there's no hanky-panky. These boxes randomized. The boxes stay close sealed until you open them. Derek Stepan, one of my favorites. New York Rangers playoff legend. Had some big goals as a New York Ranger. It's an AJ Sports COA. Derek Stepan. Back in the days when he used to have him sign. I mean, he hasn't had that kind of hair in a long time either. Derek Stepan. That's a very old AJ Sports styling. COA. New York Rangers. Derek Stepan on the Reebok. Love it. Old school Broadway blue shirts. Derek Stepan. 21 in your playbooks. Number 1 in your hearts. Look it up. If you have YouTube, which I'm sure you do since you're watching it, Google Derek Stepan, New York Rangers. You'll see the big goals he scored as a New York Ranger. Playoff legend for them. Derek Stepan, nice silver P pen. AJ Sports COA, number 21 on the Reebok. I love the Reeboks. And like I said, I didn't love them when they first got started, but, you know, having done this for many years and having tons of my PC, I've grown to enjoy the Reebok jersey. So there we go. Derek Stepan, Ryan O'Reilly, stepping in the Factor. Congratulations. Just to confirm, let's see we go. Let's see where we go. Yes, that's true with ROR. Let me see what we got. That is correct. There's going Derek Stepan's going to Dan B. I said that might be your first hit, Dan B. Congratulations if it is. I know you've been with us on and off for the last several months, grabbing Rangers as you can. And that, of course, Ryan O'Reilly, the Factor, going to Dale C. Congratulations, fine sir. Very, very nice. Thank you much. Like I said, double box goes out. I stated that was going to be an unstated double box. And there we go. We hit one. We opened them both up. So just like that, we're one less box. The odds have improved for everybody on Sunday. You know, it just doesn't take much. Just like that, one less box. So 1 in 34, 1 in 33 will be our box odds. So get your bids in. Of course, I'll end both these on eBay. Just like that, 2 jerseys gone. So, man, it's nice to see some of the old stuff go out, even though the new stuff is there to be hit. So, congratulations. You're very welcome, Dale. Dan B, I don't know if Dan B's in here with us. I don't think so. Dan B's not watching. He'll be watching the replay. So, I'm going to try. Actually, he doesn't have Facebook Messenger, so I can't even message him directly. So, I'm happy when I see him show up and claim because there's no way to send him messages. So, Dan B, if you're watching, whenever you're watching, congratulations. I don't even know if I have your mailing address, so I may have to hold off sending out Derek in the mail to you. So, but congratulations on that. Congratulations, Dale. Like I said, it's always nice to hit. Like I said, the odds are better and better now for everybody. So, double box on Sunday, and we'll do 2 single boxes next Tuesday and Thursday. So 4 more will go. Like I said, that leaves us as we'll be at 30, I guess, and then 30 and 29 for that double box on July 5th. So 4 boxes to go before I head out for a week. And then we'll get back on July 5th to do a double box. So congratulations to Dale and Dan B. Sorry for everybody who did not hit tonight. Make sure you continue visiting the other vendors. It's a great community. He's got to support each other. So I'll be looking to buy spots. I think we have a break tomorrow over at Daryl's, which is already filled, but we'll see what he hits tomorrow afternoon. And then, of course, Big Al, Monday and Wednesday, he does the East Coast stuff. Still some great hits. Community hits over in that are the I think is it Connor and who's the other one? It's a pretty some big names in this series. I don't know who the who's the unclaimed hits over there. I think he's got Connor. Now Connor Bedard is not community. I think Gordie Howe's not community. I think is it McDavid? McDavid might be one of the headliners. That's community hit. And I don't know who the other community hit is. Yager's not a community. He's one of the headliners. Pictures headliners. Austin Matthews is a white. I think Fanatics Premium. That's not community. But I definitely know the Connor McDavid and one other are the community hits over there. So stop by, grab spots over at Big Al Stuff Monday and Wednesday, and check Facebook pages for Daryl's stuff. His stuff will be listing, periodically. I don't know if he's going to be away for a little while, but and do stop over and check out Nick's stuff on Whatnot, because gotta keep supporting each other. Gotta keep running strong. So thank you much, everybody, for the fill tonight. Congratulations to our winners, and I look forward to seeing everybody on Sunday. Till then, Waffleboard Breaks is out. Take care, guys.